Greetings all. You can see it, but I am wearing Archery t-shirt. And get back to business. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna compare Nomadic Archery thumbrings with Vermil thumbrings. So Ben, he sent me quite a few, 5, and one of them doesn't fit me, but that's fine. And we're gonna compare them with what I got here, and just draw some comparisons, because obviously I can't do a review. I'm gonna be way too biased. So we're gonna start with the Ottoman style ring, and I can actually do some shooting with it for a change. So the closest one that I could compare it is Vihor to, I believe this is Ottoman. I have to double check everything. And how do they stack against each other? Since Vihor is not too small for me, and the bigger one I sent to Armin, I'm gonna compare Bonjour, and they are different rings, but it's just for comparisons. Okay, so Bonjour is 21mm, 29, and 22.93. So it's about 2 and a change difference. Here we have 19.6 by 23.3. I have no idea which size it is, or it could be in between. So that's my first, how should I put, my first observation of it. So let's get rid of weights. So they're basically same. So let's say this is 20 and this is oversized 20. Now this is 21. Nonetheless, so Bonjour is 10.7 grams in weight, even though it's a bigger size. And Ottoman is 20.6. So it's on the safe side, almost double the weight. But you don't buy those things by pound. So hull cup on Bonjour is 2.7, and the other side is, oh wait, yeah, it's 1.9, and here other side is 1.5 mil, back is 1.6, so it's fairly thin. Ottoman by Vermil is 2.7, almost 3.2, and 2.95. That's all due to manual grinding or polishing. So thickness in between Kash and the Damak is 3mm, 0.07. Let's say 3.1. Here we got almost 7mm. That's due to shape, which I noticed on Vermil. On my model on Bonjour, it's almost uniformly thick. Obviously it tapers out towards the front. here we have fairly big bump. I never saw it on antique rings, but maybe they did. And since I can squeeze it in, still fits. It's not small, but not all of them got married with the hair nicely brushed. This one is the one that I shoot every day, so I got nothing to say about that. If you compare inside of both of them, I don't know how well it's zoomed in, but you see how on Bonjour it tapers out. This one is sort of a straight. So if I believe this is lantern. It is my size, but I can feel pinch on the front part, on bottom part of Halka. That would be this part here. I feel a little bit of a squeeze because it doesn't flare out nicely. And of course, I shouldn't be modifying anybody's work. Just like I don't like if anybody meddles with my work. That's my job. So let me try a few arrows with it, and then we're gonna see. So I did a couple of shots with it, like half a dozen. It is actually very nice. Eshik is, that's this part. Check Murat's video. Eshik is very nice and thick, and it's a really smooth ring. Really nice. It's small, but that had nothing to do with the design of the ring. It's just not good size for me. So it is really nice ring. So it started on its own. What do you know? Technology. Alright. Part 2. I'm gonna compare, I believe this is classic, I believe so, and I'll add, I'll write down which one is this one, and I'm gonna compare it to this monstrosity that I did because I was asked to. Actually, I was paid to. You can ask me whatever you want, but if you don't pay, it doesn't count that much. So let's start. So the weight classic is 28.63. This one is 35. Wow. And mine is 43. Quite big one. So they're all heavy rings. So why am I not happy with my ring? In order to follow contour, I made it a bit overbuilt. It doesn't need to be built. So here we got 3.5 mil. Almost perfectly identical. Back part with this bulge is 5.5 mil. Grossly overbuilt. And in between Kash and Damak is 4.5. Like I said, it is overbuilt, but that's how we went. Here we have 3.3, 3.2 and 4.7. That's sort of too much, but that's how they went about it. And up front, because it's scalloped, it's hard to measure, but we got 4.3 mil, and the classic seems slender, so we got 3 mil, and again 4. I have no idea why this much. On the back of the halka, this is not horn ring. You can leave it on 2 millimeters and it's gonna be plenty with height of halka. You can leave it 1 and it will be just fine. It doesn't need this much juice. Again, on the inside, there is 2 steps in between cash, and then there's a big step here, but that's how they went about it. And also on the side, that's the part that I can feel. It won't come out, but I can feel in here, I can feel this step. This ring also won't come out, but it doesn't have that step, it just flares out. So I believe you can see better. And inside measurements, this one is 20.8. Yep, 20.8 by 23.8. So it's a 3 millimeter oval. Armin can wear this one. Here we got 21.14, 24. Very good on size. Here we have 24 and a half. And then gone 21. So it's a half a mil of the target, but that's how they go about the business. Who am I to judge? Once again, only concern is this step, which I never seen, but I never seen originals that inspired these rings. Anyway, this is. So I'm gonna try to release a couple of arrows with it, and let's see how it goes. And camera is back on by itself. What did I do? I have no idea. And it just worked. So anyway, Gao Ying, I already tried it and I tend to lock it a bit more. I don't know, that's how the customers prefer it, so it's not my favorite type of ring. Anyway, like I said, I prefer this one, but to each his own, I guess. So I have to lock a little bit harder with this one. From these two, I think Lantern is a little bit nicer, at least for me. They're both very comfortable rings, I must say that. Didn't feel too much pinch of this part, but that's probably because they're slightly oversized. And that's how they go about the business, that's their decisions. The only issue I have with them is weight. They're way overbuilt. It doesn't have to be this big, but that is their product, and I think they're really nice. So of course I have to polish them before I send them back to Ben. Thanks, Ben, again. It's really appreciated. It's really nice to compare your product with other people's products. It's always nice. So my takeaway is to redesign Gaoying. It is way too bulky for my taste, but I'll send it to Armin and let's see what he got to say. He knows way more about these things than I do, and we'll go from there. So I got 2 more, and let's do that. And back to, what did you say? This is the Lantern, and this is Lotus 2. I just checked on their Facebook page. On a ring I could compare it if it fits, but it's unfortunately way too small is Leptirica. But with this is just a basic comparison. So, weight of Leptirica, which I think it's outrageous, it's 18.3 grams. Look here, Lantern 42.6. This is very heavy for my taste. And the Lotus is 37.1, also fairly big. Mind you, this one is smaller size. And how come? Again, 2.6, 2.5, and the back is 2.2. You see how it follows the shape? So that was my aim towards it. Alright, Lantern, oh boy. We got 4.3. This is as twice as it should be on any ring, 4.4. And the back of Halka is 4.6. Again, you can be on quite safe size with a 2 mil. This one seems much thinner, so we got 3.6. We got 3.6, very nice, and 4 point almost 2. So this could, especially back, it's not cornering. Okay. Again, we have pronounced step here. So this would make it for fairly thick, almost 5.5. But we're gonna measure it somewhere in the middle part, in between Eshik and in between Damak and Kash. So it's about 3.5. We got 7.25. This is fairly thick. Comparing to Leptirica that has 4.3. Again, different sizes and types of rings. So it is fairly heavy and overbuilt. Like I pointed out on Gaoying, it can be half of the thickness. Here I have 3.3, it could be less than 2, because there's so much meat to maintain the structural part of the ring. Yeah, 3 point change, it's 4.5. It's here is step, so sort of justified. What would be? Yeah, this part on the string groove is less than 2 millimeters. Even that could go on half. So let's see how these two shoots, and we're gonna wrap it up. And we don't need this one. This is Lotus 2, and I find it's very comfortable. For me, control is a bit of an issue, but that could be for my lack of practice and efficiency. But a nice ring. I like how Ashik is not that thick, yet I really enjoyed Turkish or Ottoman. Lantern, I found that there is a bit of a pinch on the back of the halka, on the top back. But then again, maybe it goes from ring to ring. But that's just my observation. It is a bit slippery, but that's how they went about it. But overall, it's a very nice ring. All of them, they're nice. I like that one. So, to wrap it up, we have only 1 minute into it. Very nice rings. I really like them. After all, I like everything. And probably most favorite would be Turkish, the deco. I think it's Ottoman. It should be ground down to the half of the weight. This part on cash, I thought it's gonna create me some issue, but it doesn't. I was checking how the guys in Turkey make the rings. They go without it, but I'm sure they have the reason for it. That's just how they go. And other than that, my suggestion would be to open it up a bit here, but then again, they know what they're doing. Looks pretty symmetrical, slightly smaller on this side, but those are little things because I'm staring on insides of the rings for a couple hours a day, at least. Very nice rings. Like I said, I prefer Turkish. If I call it Ottoman, forgive me. Turkey is modern nation, like we would call this Chinese. But really nice rings. With this one, I don't have much of a control. I don't feel the string, but some people like that. I'm one of the other guys. So they're really nice rings, nicely made, grossly overbuilt. I would grind this into half of the weight if it's up to me, but luckily for so many people it's not. Really nice. I have to polish them again. But yeah, I got nothing bad to say about it other than a bit of a pinch here. This part should be opened like this. And other than that, it's really nice ring. Overbuilt, but that's how they do their rings. And yeah, even though it's way too elliptical, because Ottoman rings would be almost always cylindrical, round like this one. So I'll try to line up the angle. I believe you can see which one is more oval. If you ask the guys who actually do research on the rings, but not the ones from other makers and on the web, the guys who go into museums and measure them, they're gonna agree about being almost round. And I checked the weights with them and with other researchers, so I'm comparing what I'm doing to what they did in the past. So I'm kind of building on that. That's enough of me. Talked already too much. I don't know how long it is. I have to edit it, and if I mispronounce names or stuff like that, I do apologize. I'm not really familiar with other brands' products. At least I don't memorize them, and they do, right? So, very nice rings. Thank you, Ben. And I'll put his information in the description. He got YouTube channel, he got Facebook account, he teaches, really nice guy. Thank you very much.